Ordinary average guy podcast show.
Hello.
I was thinking you were going to say show.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 25. Barry Bonds. Number 25. 25th episode of the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show, coming at you, previously recorded from the Buxty Hootie Studios, and we have yet another guest on the show. If you were around the Appleton area, I would say back in 2004 to 2007.
Sounds about that, yeah.
You might have heard him on The Score, the radio station. That was 1570 back then, you said?
Yeah, AM 1570.
At 1570 AM. That's AM. But
That's
anyway,
how old I am.
but you might we got the franchise.
Hello. Glad to be here. This is the anniversary episode. 25.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
The anniversary
Silver
episode.
anniversary, yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. That is great. There's a lot of people out there that would have thought I never would have made it to 25.
Me, one of them.
But I made it, and I'll tell you what, now that I have guests coming on the show, this is becoming a lot more fun, and I do not see an end in sight.
Good. Happy for you.
A couple of things. So the reason why I got the franchise on the show is because last weekend he went to well, first of all, before we get this far, do you know how do you remember how many episodes have you listened to?
Like 2.5.
2.5. All right. So the structure of the show is for the first segment, we talk about a particular topic. And then I don't know if you listened to any recent episodes, but I do have sponsors.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So I have a sponsor. I do a sponsor read, and then we go into emails or messages that I got on Facebook. Then we go into the unpopular opinion.
Okay.
All right. And then we go into, or unordinary opinion, I think it's called, the segment. And then we top it off with a song of the week that people can jam out to during the week. So this week's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City. I personally have been to Vegas quite a few times, but my friend here, Franchise, has not ever been to Las Vegas, and he recently was just there. And I was extremely excited to pick his brain on what he thought of one of my favorite cities in the world, Las Vegas, Nevada.
I'll never go back.
That's this week's episode. Well, why do you say that? Well, you say it. Let's just.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I haven't gone in 40 years.
You're 40 years old?
I'm 41.
Okay.
But it's just not my cup of tea. You know, for the gambling side of me, you know, I can get that out on the golf course. I can go up to Oneida if I really want to. I'm not let's go sit at a slot machine or go sit at a table and play games like that. So like that part of it doesn't really intrigue me. The shows were kind of fun and interesting, but
okay.
I was there without my wife, and so
see,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is where you start talking about really cool stories because you weren't there with your wife. I have a feeling we're not gonna get that.
I'm a boring guy. No, so without her there, I felt like inclined to not go to some of these cool shows because I don't want to go without her.
Oh, sure.
Just some dude sitting in the crowd watching Penn and Teller. Like, awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be fun, but like, how cool would that have been?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: when you flew in,
Yep.
You flew in out of Appleton.
I did, yeah, at night.
Okay, so that was my first question. You flew in at night.
Yeah.
So were you? Did you look out the window and did you see all? It's all black. It's all desert, and then you see the lights of Vegas.
Yeah, I had this large gentleman in the window seat, so I had to lean over him. But he was cool, and yeah, it was really cool imagery to see this lit up strip and these lights, and I was like, all right, well, that's gonna be fun. Let's go check that out. I had seen Vegas Vacation with Chevy Chase,
Yeah,
so I had some ideas of what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, definitely. So you leaned over this guy. Did you know him? Was he a friend of yours?
No idea. He was sleeping.
And you. And you just leaned over him?
Oh yeah, he wasn't. I mean, he was just taking a snooze until the window was open. So one in Vegas, one in Rome.
Yeah, one in Vegas. Exactly. Did he wake up?
He didn't, but it would have been awkward.
That would have been That would have been a good scene for a movie. You're leaning over this guy, and he just wakes up, and you guys make eye contact.
You just look at him, be like, I was searching for one of my mambas that I dropped.
So that's cool. So you fly in at night. Now you get into the airport. Now the thing about, well, I was just gonna ask, what was your thoughts when you walked into the airport of Las Vegas?
It's very dirty. It is a dirty airport.
But it's like
surprised.
it's a good dirty, right?
No. So I mean, immediately when you get out, there's slot machines. There's it's almost like a casino,
Right.
/ airport. So like you can immediately just start throwing money into.
And
machines.
people are smoking.
Oh yeah.
In the airport,
Oh, yeah.
people are. No, they have those like down the hallway. Then there's like this glass building in the middle of the hallway. Did they have those still? I think that's where you smoke.
Yeah. It's like 1992 all over again.
I know. See, I really think that's kind of cool, to be honest. I'm not a smoker, but when I go to Vegas, I'm not saying I smoke in Vegas, but I like the idea. I don't want smoke anywhere where I go, but when I go to Vegas, I feel like you need that.
Well, yeah, I mean, as we get into this, but like every morning you'd get up to go golf and you'd walk through all like the old timers who are actually smoking.
Yeah.
And then when you come back from golf and at night, then it's just all the young people vaping. So it's a different vibe.
I'm not a big, vaping's for losers. If you're going to do it, do the real thing. You know what I'm saying? Go all in.
Sure.
So we should tell my listeners, the tens and tens of listeners I have, that you were in Vegas because of a golf trip.
Yeah, the idea was to go there, enjoy some of the better courses they had to offer. Had a nice contact, and so a lot of the stuff that we were able to do was, let's just say, not out of my pocketbook. So that made it a lot more enjoyable.
Okay. So when you went to Vegas to golf, now you're a big golfer.
Yeah.
And you're also pretty good at it.
Good one.
He's a big boy. Hey,
body shaming me?
Hey, I should say that the franchise here, when I talk about that bet at work for losing weight, he is one of the 3 guys in the bet.
Yeah, I'm doing great too.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm down 3 pounds.
3 pounds, and it's
7 months.
It's only been 7 months.
Right on track.
Right on track. Well, we got 5 months to go, man.
Dang, quick trips.
Quick trips if it wasn't for Quick Trip, I would look like
Fozzie Bear. That's who you'd look like.
No, that's showing your age. Quick Trips it was nice going to Vegas because there was no Quick Trips there. So it was actually nice to kind of get away from that. But who is it? Rodney Dangerfield. So in Vegas, there's slot machines everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like everywhere. And I think Rodney Dangerfield had a joke about he went to a Walgreens to get a gallon of milk and it cost him $73.
Nice.
Well, so you didn't really play blackjack or nothing.
No, I played some Texas Hold'em. some of the one of the guys in my foursome that we were there with, he hit 2 slot machine jackpots.
Oh, no kidding. How much did you win?
Each of them were just under $2,000.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah, one was like 1,700, one was like 1,900.
Jeez.
Yeah, so he came out ahead. The only money I put into Vegas, outside of like bugles and peanut M&Ms, was a Texas Hold'em game I got into one night. 2 of the guys in our group decided to go see the Eagles at the Sphere.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You went to that?
I didn't.
Why not?
Because I'm cheap.
Oh my God.
I said, I'm not spending $500 to go see the Eagles.
Dude, okay, well,
I should have. I regret it. I regret it.
I'm going to say, maybe you're not an
truly
Eagles
regret
fan.
it. I truly regret it. And they had Eagles there, and they had Billy Joel and Sting, not the wrestler,
Yes.
the artist. They were performing. So I think a lot of people went to the Eagles Friday night, and then they went to see Billy Joel Saturday night. So
Holy shit.
So the 2 buddies got tickets for Saturday night, and it was unbelievable. I saw videos afterwards, and I'm like, dang it, I probably should have gone.
So it's not like I'm this big Eagles I mean, I like the Eagles. They're not like I don't love them or whatever, but I definitely will go see them. But Joe Walsh is in the Eagles. You know Joe Walsh?
Yeah, and Vince Gill now.
Yeah, Vince Gill's now.
Yeah.
Took what the hell is that guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
My buddy
who's
who
like
was
the main
with us
guy.
is a massive Eagles fan. He would know right now.
Yeah.
He's probably yelling at the.
What is his name? And he was also the coach in Jerry Maguire of the Arizona Cardinals. Why can I not think of his name? He's from Michigan. He got to start with Bob Seger. I know everything about this guy, but his name. Anyway, so Joe Walsh. But anyway, the name of the show, the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show, is a tribute to Joe Walsh's song, Ordinary Average Guy.
Really?
I think it's Ordinary Average Guy or something like that. So,
look at you.
yeah. So anyway, in the Sphere that they played in, I hear is just like an incredible place, which is a new. Would you know where is that on the strip?
I think it's like it's southwest.
Is that down towards the Raiders stadium?
Yeah. It's more.
Okay.
I think it's like west of Excalibur in New York.
Oh, it's west of that yet.
Yeah, I think it was like southwest of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't get me wrong; it was cool to see.
Yeah, when last time I was there, that was not there yet. So that's definitely something I want to check out. The Sphere, but I hear the tickets are for anyone you see there. Weird Al, it's like $500.
Glenn Fry.
Glenn Fry, yeah.
Yeah,
there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel really bad I didn't know that.
But yeah, they had the whole the imagery behind it. It almost looked like in the videos I saw, and I've never done this, but I've only heard stories. It would probably be a really cool thing to see while you're on
drugs,
like mushrooms
psychedelics
or something. Yeah, but you'd have to be like in the right state of mind, because I've heard some of that stuff. Again, I've never inhaled anything other than like cheeseburgers, but. And I don't. You almost have to be in the right state of mind, because if you're like nervous about stuff, I guess it just makes you even more nervous about stuff.
Oh, but, yeah.
The videos that I saw were amazing, and I regret not going.
Well, I hear people I heard this just on the radio. So you ever listen to the Bob and Tom show in the morning?
Back in the day,
when
I used to drive for Cintas.
Oh yeah. So Tom was actually in Vegas last weekend too, and he went to see the Eagles, and he was talking about on his radio program in the morning that people get like motion sickness when they're in there, and and they're not even on anything. They just get kind of.
So yeah, the one guy that went, they were doing this song, and they were basically like a drone footage that was rising up through like the city, and they were going higher and higher up these like skyscrapers.
Oh, really?
And it's all moving above you and around you and stuff. And he said that he was getting motion sickness just seeing that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, the Eagles. It's too bad. And then so you went and played. Now you're a good poker player. I mean, I played poker against you.
Yeah.
You definitely are better than me, or you seem talk like it. So, what?
So I had never done it before, and I walked up, and the guy that had done it before, he was dealing with a situation in the restroom. So I was kind of walked up and saw that the tournament, it was like 8:30 at night, and the tournament had started at 8, and the next one was at 11. So me just being a complete novice, not knowing how this works, I just go and sit down at a sports bar, and I'm watching the football game, and then he comes up, he's like, "Oh, so what's the deal?" And I was like, "Oh, the next one starts at 11." And I said, "One just started at 8." And he's like, "Oh, we can still get in the one at 8." So then we walked over there.
But it was 8:30.
Yeah. So sure enough, so apparently in those situations, you have like, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the rules of the tournament.
Okay.
But you got, in this one, you had 2 hours to get in / buy back in if you got eliminated, and then at the 2 hour mark, then it stopped, and then from then on, if you got eliminated, you were out.
No kidding.
So you could not add on, but you could buy back if you got eliminated. And so I kind of made a foolish decision, foolish call right on the very last hand. I knew that it was the last hand before the break.
Okay.
And had I just gone all in and been eliminated because I lost the hand, I would have been better off because I could have just rebought and got 20,000 in chips, where I left myself with 4,500 coming out of the break.
Oh man!
And so I'm at 4,500. Blinds were 1,000, 2,000. So I literally had one move after the break, which was to go all in. I had Ace Jack suited, which was
That's a good hand. Yeah.
Great hand.
Yeah.
When you're basically forced to go all in, and flop came down. I had a 4-card straight draw after the flop, and the guy next to me who had called the all in, he went all in. Another guy called him, so I was like, well, now I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, the dude next to me to my left, he had flopped a straight, and the other guy they called him had pocket queens, and he hits there was a queen on the flop, so he had trips.
Okay.
He hits the quad queens on the river.
No shit.
To win this. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
It was cool.
Yeah, that's especially when you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all out. I'm done.
Yeah. You're like, oh, it was a cool way to go out. I can say I got taken out by quads in Vegas. That's what eliminated me.
Yeah, that's a cool story.
I did that the night they went to the Eagles. So I did that, got knocked out. My buddy was still in. He went all the way to third.
How much you win for third place?
Like $490 or $480, something like that.
$480. How much did it cost to buy in?
$150.
$150.
Yeah.
Where did you stay?
We were at the Caesars Palace.
Oh no shit! And you guys freaking Eagles concert, Billy Joel.
And we were in a suite also. So it was a suite that was 2 layers. We could get into it on the 52nd floor or the 53rd floor.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
So is one of your buddies like loaded or something?
I don't know. The guy that had the hookup, I had never met before. He was a friend of a friend, and luckily I was a friend of a friend that got invited.
Oh wow! So you never met him. That's
no.
Crazy.
So I met him. The first time I met him, it was in the casino because he was already there when we showed up, and then he took us up and showed us the room, and the rest is history. It was unbelievable. We had a pool table. We had
no kidding,
19 TVs. We could have had Thanksgiving dinner there. This table we had was unbelievable. You had no kitchen. You had a kitchenette, but
right.
So it's like you really couldn't cook anything. But no, it was great. We all had our own rooms. And
I never stayed at the Caesars. I've stayed at it's not there. The Tropicana. They just demolished it a month ago or whatever for the new athletics stadium.
Yep.
But I stayed there, and then I stayed at the Link quite a few times, which I think is right across the street from Caesar, or that's maybe across the street from Mirage. The Flamingo, I stayed there. Did you guys go down to Fremont Street at all?
So we didn't, and that's another thing I regret.
That's a big regret.
That would have been fun to go see the old school. I was like, I'm going to go check out like Pawn Stars and all that stuff, and then I'm like, it's not worth your time, so I never did it. Now, we would get up every morning, and we'd walk downstairs, we'd grab a quick breakfast bite to eat, and then we had this we'd go golf. So
Yeah.
we'd have this driver set up, this sweet black Escalade. We'd all pile
Sheesh.
in. They'd keep the clubs downstairs for us, so they'd all be ready. We didn't have to tramp those through the casino. So then when they take us to our golf course, they'd tell us, hey, when he wants to pick you up, we'd play golf. They'd pick us up, they'd bring us back, and so a lot of times you're gone, you're not back to the casino until 3 in the afternoon, and me being out of shape and old, I just wanted to go and just like kick my feet up for a minute.
Yeah,
and
take a nap,
just chill.
Right.
So I'd go back to the room for a couple hours and just turn on some college football and hang out. And
I can't believe you didn't go to a sports book.
oh no, we did.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't place any bets because I just was more like the environment just to check it out.
Yeah.
My buddy, some of the buddies I was with, they placed some bets, and
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, your buddies sound pretty cool.
they are cool. They're much cooler than me.
I should have had them on the show.
Got to see some cool stuff. Got to eat at Gordon Ramsay's place, Bobby Flay's place.
Sure.
We went to the steakhouse that had I think it was like a $400 tomahawk that would just hang in the middle of the table. And you could all just eat off it. And
I remember when my wife and I went to Vegas, and one particular time we went to Vegas, and we went to Bobby Flay's restaurant, and it was like, I mean, this was so when we go to Vegas, like, did you go to In-N-Out Burger?
no,
Have you ever?
yes.
Well, you sound not as excited as I am.
I mean, I'm more of a Whataburger guy.
Oh, I'm In-N-Out, man. In-N-Out Burger.
I wanted to go to a Wahlburger. It was there, and
I was there.
I screwed up. I didn't go.
Man, you have a lot of regrets on this trip.
Well, I mean, the food at the Caesars was comped, and I'm eating Gordon Ramsay. I'm eating Bobby Flay. I didn't really think to go outside of the Caesars.
I get
stuff.
At the Link, they have this like this walkway, and then there's that big Ferris wheel and all that.
Yeah, that wasn't running.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I could see it from my room.
Yeah. I did that. But then the In-N-Out Burger's there and some other stuff. But we went out to this fancy meal. So we go out when we go to Vegas, like one night out of the trip, we'll get all dolled up, right? We'll get put on like a suit, and she'll put on some smoking hot dress, and then we go out on town like we're
somebody.
Like we're somebody. So we went to Bobby Flay's and
In the Caesar? That Amplify place or whatever.
I can't remember because they get all those guys have like multiple.
True.
Like Bobby Flay also has like a burger joint there.
Dude, I ate there. It was like the food court.
Yeah,
literally Bobby Flay is in a food court in Vegas.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
It was like Culver's basically. It's these big old burgers, and you got chips. It was unbelievable.
So we went to this steakhouse and we're eating. We're acting like we're kings, and I have a couple $100 in my pocket, And we go to across the street, and I find a craps table. I got my wife there.
You know how to play craps?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah,
my buddy, the hookup of the hookup, he's a big craps player.
Oh, yeah?
Big craps player out there. That's how we got the hookup.
So the thing about craps looks more intimidating than it really is. Really,
explain it to me.
You just play the line, and then you might play some.
Just don't roll 7, right? Basically.
Well, it depends. So when you're coming out, you want to roll the 7, then the pass line wins. But then when you roll a number, let's say you roll a 5, then you don't want to roll a 7. Then you want to roll any number other than a 7 or an 11. I have to. So when you're coming out, if you throw a 7 or 11, you win. I don't know. It's not that hard.
Moving right along.
But anyway, so I got this suit on, no tie, suit, shirt's buttoned down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I got a nice tan going. And my wife's on my arm, and I throw $300, throw it on the craps table. We're riding high, and all of a sudden, I would say within 15 minutes, that was gone.
No, that happened. Yeah, that's where my Texas Hold'em experience. I mean, I spent $150, and it was 4 hours.
Yeah,
so I got a lot of bang for my buck. For
you got a bang for your buck. Yeah, exactly. But I've had, like blackjack. I love blackjack, and we'll sit at a blackjack table and play. And thing about Vegas, and me, you must not have experienced this, but when I go to Vegas, let's say I'm planning a Vegas trip, a couple months, I'll save up, right? I'll put money aside, and I'll go to Vegas. Let's just, I mean, we got the same job. We're not like big wigs or nothing like that. So let's just say let's say I have $1,500 saved up. Okay. If I'm going to Vegas, in my mind, that $1,500 is already spent. So when I go there, I'm throwing hundreds down. I'm acting like not my normal self, because it's definitely Dave Ramsey does not approve this. Are you a Ramsey guy, right?
Yeah. And I golfed in front of him at one of the courses.
He was behind you?
Yeah, I saw him. I'm walking off the range, going to my cart, and he's leaving his cart, walking onto the range.
No kidding.
I played it just as cool as the other side of the pillow. I was like, "Hey, what's up, Dave?"
Oh yeah.
And he looked at me like he's like being polite, and he's probably like, "I have no idea who this fat guy is." And he was just like, "Hello," and I just carried on with life. And the caddy was like, "Do you know?" Because we had a caddy.
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you know him?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I watch him all the time."
Yeah.
He's the financial peace guy. And he's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah." So then my wife's like, "Well, did you go and talk to him? Did you go tell him, like, thanks for all the advice you've given over the years?" And I was like, "No, the man was trying to play golf. I'm not going to bug him while he's trying to play golf."
Typical woman. But
we dusted him, man. We got to the first green and we looked back. They were on the tee.
Yeah.
And we didn't see him the rest of the day.
Oh,
no, this golf course was phenomenal. It's called Cascada.
Okay.
It's basically
Is it green?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's at like the base of all these mountains. So basically the land was probably extremely cheap, right?
Yeah.
And so every hole looks like a postcard, because you can't see any other holes but the hole you're on. And to the right and the left and behind the hole, it's just mountains and desert.
Jeez, how many balls you lose?
I actually did not lose a ball.
Wow, dude. That's crazy.
So every hole is like a postcard, and there's elevation changes, and the golf course itself is green, but then everything else is like brown, like desert.
Right.
It was surreal. It was just a really cool golf course.
How much would it have cost if you didn't have a comp? Like, what would have
that round or total?
That round.
I think that round was like $550.
Wow, man, you could see the Eagles for that.
Yeah, but this was better. I would pay to play this course again, which is weird because I wouldn't pay that kind of money to go play Whistling Straits, for an example.
Okay.
I've played Whistling Straits. I played it during COVID, so it was like $175.
Yeah.
But to pay $500 to go play Whistling Straits, I couldn't bring myself to do it.
But maybe that's the Vegas mentality I was kind of talking about. Like, you're on a vacation, kind of, but you're in Vegas. For some odd reason, Vegas is just like, when I was at a hotel once, they had this big wheel, and you'd spin this wheel and you'd make bets. I mean, we're making $100 bets on that. Just spinning a wheel.
Yeah, see, I didn't get caught up in that experience. I mean, I had a good time, but by no means did I go there thinking I'm just going to spend this money. I probably should have maybe planned it out a little bit better and had more money, disposable money, to be like, if I lose it, I lose it. But, at the same time, I'm also a very, I'm not going to play something unless I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so, I know blackjack, but I don't know blackjack. And so, the guys I'm with were like, dude, the dealers don't care if you win or lose. They actually want to help you.
The dealers in Vegas are the best dealers in the world.
Yeah, they're like, just go sit down. And if you don't know, they'll help you. They'll tell you what you should split, and they'll tell you what you should do.
That's how I learned craps. Because I was playing craps at the Circus. Did you see the Circus?
I did not.
That place is going to fall down soon.
We stayed at the Caesar. We didn't get near the Circus.
Yeah. So anyway, I learned how to play craps there, but then the guy's just telling you what to do. But at the blackjack table, I think I was sitting with, I don't know, probably my wife or something, and she's like going to bet on something, and the dealer's just like, no, you're not going to take it back. Like, you don't want to do that. That's a bad move. Yeah. And then, but when I'm in like we used to go to Vegas quite a bit. Like my grandma and grandpa, my aunts, and like it was a family affair.
Wow.
And I was remember going there. My mom and I'm playing blackjack, and I know how to play blackjack. I'm not saying I'm counting cards or anything, but I know what you got to do. So I'm doubling down and shit like the splitting stuff, and I got a lot of money out there, and she's just like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? It's like just sit back and watch, and I'd win all these hands. Now you lose some too, but I definitely I would say I've been to Vegas 6 times as an adult. I think I've left Vegas maybe I would say 3 times. Not with more money, but like breaking even.
Wow.
Like and that means like that paid for the plane ticket, paid for all the meals. Like I literally spent nothing, and
Yeah. No,
and
that's
that-
a good.
and
That's a good. Sure.
yeah, it was pretty sweet. Vegas. So what else was I going to ask you here? You didn't. Okay, so you didn't go down to Fremont Street. That's too bad, man. I would say you want to go back one more time just to go to Fremont Street. So that Fremont Street. If you're going to Vegas, do go to Fremont Street more for just the what's that called when you people watching.
Oh, I did a lot of that.
Yeah.
No, I did a lot of that, and I think I'd probably go back if it was like a couples thing or if my wife went with, and
Yeah.
because experiencing things and doing that kind of stuff with her is fun. Not like the guys I went with, it wasn't fun, but having that spouse with you, I think would just make things a little bit. Go see some shows.
Yeah, go see shows.
Experience
Well,
that kind of stuff.
and that's the thing. I was kind of surprised when you said that you're going to, because I think I don't know who I was talking to, somebody, but and I wouldn't have been included, but it's like my wife's friend or something like that, some dude, and their friends, that one of their guys wanted to do a golf trip.
Yeah.
And this other guy wanted to go to Vegas. And the guy I was talking to, he's like, I'm not going to Vegas to golf.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
So good.
Well, but you are like a guy like me, for example, who
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what do you?
A guy like you.
I mean, I like golf. I play golf, but I'm not like good at it.
You're not going to spend $300.
I'm not going to spend $300
Right.
at golf. So I would go. I would just go somewhere else. But if I'm going to Vegas, I personally probably wouldn't golf. I would just get completely blackout drunk and lose a bunch of money at a blackjack table.
Right. So you're going to do that. You're going to spend $1,500 to do that, whereas I would set $1,500 aside and go play 3-4 like phenomenal golf courses.
Right.
Now, I know people that fly into Vegas, maybe spend a night or two down there, and then they drive down to like St. George, Utah, or Mesquite, and they play those courses because those courses are phenomenal also.
Okay.
And if they're anything like what we did in Vegas, which I heard that some of them are even better, it's breathtaking to play in those mountains and the canyons all around you and the elevation changes. It's unlike anything we have around here.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to talk quickly about Fremont Street because if you're a listener and you haven't been to Vegas and you're kind of weighing it like yay or nay, I got one story about Fremont Street. So you go down to Fremont Street and it's like this, you can't drive on you walk on Fremont Street, and there's this big canopy over you that's like a constant light show. And anyway, there's a bunch of people down there that are like dressed up and they want, hey, give me money or whatever. So anyway, one time I was down there, there's this one guy, right? There's this old guy, like 50 some years old, and he's dressed up in a diaper.
Okay.
And it just is funny because I can't get this out of my head. So this old guy, he's got this big beer belly and he's got like long strangly hair. And he looks like, you know who Ron Jeremy is?
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
So he looks like Ron Jeremy kind of, and he's in a diaper and he's smoking a cig. And there must have been something going on because the cops are down there and the cop was talking to this guy getting like a statement. And the funniest thing, like this is Vegas for you. A cop talking to a guy that looks like Ron Jeremy wearing a diaper, smoking a cig. and the cop is just like a normal thing. It's just like the guy is just like a normal thing. It's so weird. Um, but Fremont Street is definitely a lot. It's old. I guess people call it old Vegas.
Well, it's the original strip, isn't it?
I have a Vegas book because the thing is, the strip that you stayed on has been around since like the 40s.
Oh, okay.
Like the Tropicana, for example, that they just, I mean, it's terrible that they had to knock it down because there was like the original hotel. And then they had the Sands, and they had a bunch of other hotels.
So I'm a big Elvis guy.
Yeah,
and
right.
So like it was the International back in the day. Like I wonder what that turned into, or if that got tore down for something.
It all got tore down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. They don't turn them into nothing. The link was something. But that's the thing. It's like, man, if I could go back in time. I have this book that I read. It's like when the mob ran Vegas. And oh man, like when the Rat Pack was around and stuff like that, if I could go back in time and go to Vegas at that time, that'd be so cool. Back when you could buy a steak for like $2, that's what it was years ago. But the strip kind of ruined that, actually. Now it's all like,
hey, you know where Rio, the
Rio, yeah,
it's like across the highway,
yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
kind of down a little ways, yeah.
Yeah, it's where Penn and Teller was.
Yeah.
Anyways, across the street from there's like a mall. From what our Uber driver told me, or not Uber driver, the guy that takes us to the golf course and stuff. He's saying they're going to put in a 2-story. It's the largest In-N-Out
burger.
A 2-story In-N-Out burger.
Oh man, yeah. Dude, I'm all over that. I'm all over that. That sounds great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So other than Dave Ramsey, the only other quote unquote named person we saw was Dave Matthews. Was just casually.
Dave Matthews?
He was just casually walking through the Bellagio when we were walking through.
Really?
Just like any other person, just walking through, just.
Hey, I'm Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? I can't do a Dave impression.
That was it. I saw a lot of other crazy stuff.
How'd you know? Are you a Dave fan?
I'm not.
I'm guessing it's one of your buddies.
Yeah, one of my buddies. Like, hey, there's Dave Matthews, and the only reason why I recognized it is because the movie Just Go With It.
Yeah,
and he's in that. He's like what, Nicole Kidman's husband in that movie,
right? And then he can lift that watermelon up with his buttocks.
Yeah. And he created. I don't know what he did. Yeah,
but yeah, Dave. I've seen Dave a couple times.
I've never
concert.
seen him.
So
I've only inhaled cheeseburgers.
Yeah, you're cool. Hey, did you know that WrestleMania is going to be in Vegas? Would you go back for that?
That could be cool.
Yeah, WrestleMania. So for the listeners at home, me and Matt work together. And at first when I met him, I'll be honest, I wasn't your biggest fan.
I get that a lot.
Well, that's only because you had something I wanted, and that I'll just, what I want, what I wanted. Well, we're not going to talk about it, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So anyway, and then I was like, franchise loser. But then we started talking one day. I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of funny. And then we talked some more, and then I learned that he's a big wrestling fan.
Well, old school, I'd say.
But you still watch it, you said.
Yes. I do dabble from time to time. From the time that Vince bought WCW, so like you would call the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
So basically the John Cena era, I didn't really watch it because I was like, there's no competition, so like it's dumb.
Yeah. No, and I'll agree. That's kind of when I got out of it too. Yeah. I still, like me and my buddies would still get together and watch pay-per-views.
Sure. And now they're all on Peacock.
Well, yeah. And then, so now I think we get together for WrestleMania, and that's about it. I invited you to that.
Yeah, I know. I missed it.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it was pretty sweet this year with the Cody and and Roman storyline and Rock and Taker.
Yeah.
Which would have been cooler to see Austin and Taker.
Stone Cold.
but-
It should have been Stone Cold. I never really looked into that. I don't know if it was a money. I think it was just a scheduling thing. Did you hear Taker? Like it was the day of, and he still like didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, they didn't know how they're going to do that. The Austin thing, I think he wanted to be his final thing is what happened in Texas Stadium 2 years ago.
Against Kevin Owens?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to come back. Like he wants to end it in Texas.
Well, that makes sense. But it would have been so
was
cool
like-
if you heard the glass shatter.
Dude.
I mean, the lights going out and hearing the church bell was cool, but the glass shattering, dude, that would have been insane.
I mean, he's widely considered the GOAT, and he only had like a 6-7 year run.
Oh, and that's what's crazy about it. Of course,
Yeah.
he was wrestling down in Texas, and then he
Yeah,
went to
he's stunning
Memphis or
Steve,
something like
yeah.
that, and he had a stint in WCW, but he didn't really. I mean, he started in WWF
Yeah,
in when he became Stone Cold. I think that was like 96.
yeah. Well, he started off as the ringmaster.
The
That
Ringmaster,
was
yeah,
stupid.
that was dumb. But that was like 95, and then he turned into Stone Cold.
Yep.
But anyway, long story short, WrestleMania is going to be in Vegas next year. But this year, next year, but in March. So that's coming up right up.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't know how much. Man, tickets would probably be insane for that.
My
but-
buddy went to the one that was at Tampa a couple years ago.
okay.
And I mean, you're in a football stadium like that, and he was just so high up. He's like, it's cool, but you are you are really far away.
Yeah.
It's like, how enjoyable would it really be in the grand scheme of things? But that's why they make the show so large to accommodate.
Yeah, and you got
people
the
that are
screens and
sitting
all
way
that
up
stuff.
there, Yeah.
So back to Vegas. So the Vegas has the nickname Sin City.
Yep.
Would you say that is a good name for Vegas?
From what I heard as walking around the strip, yes. From what I did, no.
Yeah.
I'm just a boring middle-aged guy.
Did you collect any of those
I did it.
those cards at the?
Dude, they're all over the place, and they don't shut up. I'm trying to take a video of the strip to send back to my wife and kids and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're just yelling in the background, stupid stuff, and I'm like, dude, you can't get away from them.
So it's like it's funny because it's like old Asian women. Is that what you saw? Is that what it was? Like that, and they're the ones trying to give you the cards.
Oh no, this was like probably 20, 30-year-old dudes.
Oh, really? So it's funny is last time I was in Vegas on the strip, it's these old like Asian grandmas.
Okay.
I'm talking like your grandma, and she's got these cards like, and I'm not gonna do an impression, but
Yeah.
that was who was handing them out, and it was just
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
That's great. No, I did not have that experience. We just walked the strip a couple nights and just just saw what was going on. Of course, they have just massive screens and lights, and it's cool.
Yeah.
That part of it, it's essentially like a massive airport where it's just constantly people moving.
That's a good way to put it. They
Yeah.
even have like moving sidewalks, I think,
Yeah.
too.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's just not. That night I came back from Hold'em, it was like midnight, 12:30 in the morning, and there's people out there with their kids, and they have strollers, and
Mhm.
and I'm like, dude, what? Why are you out here with a kid?
My folks. Now that being said, when I was a kid, my folks took me to Vegas, but it was on a road trip. So we went through Vegas, and then we
yeah.
stayed, which we actually stayed at the Circus. This is back in the 90s.
So I guess in that rare situation that maybe they woke the kid up to walk the strip to put him back in the car to keep traveling.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So when we went to Vegas that first time, it was like mid-90s, and we stopped in Vegas. No one's ever been there before. Now my folks have been there 10 times, but we just stayed at like a motel. And that first
A
night,
motel or hotel?
well, like a 2-story, I guess, motel. Are motels only 1 story?
No, motel. You walk out and it's open air.
That's the difference?
Yeah.
I thought motels had to be
A
1
hotel,
story.
you walk out into like a hallway and you gotta take an elevator to get it like you into a lobby. So
Oh,
a motel, you walk outside from your
okay.
door. A hotel, you walk inside.
In
Yep.
this is a motel.
Okay.
Yeah, we stayed at a
I
few
love
motels on that
motels.
trip.
I stayed in a motel in San Fran. That was awesome.
So we stayed at this motel and we stayed there a night, and then the next I was a little kid. The next day my mom was paging through the yellow pages trying to find, and we'd stay at the circus, but apparently my mom and dad didn't sleep a wink that night, and there was like cops coming in and out of the parking lot all night long. So the thing about Vegas, and I'll tell you, like the strip, if you're on the strip, that cool, but don't venture off the strip. Don't do it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ugh. um Bad news. So we were off the strip, and then we stayed at again circus, but that was back in the mid 90s, and that was during Clinton's Monica Lewinsky deal, because I remember Clinton on TV. This is why I heard him say, "I ought to not sleep with that woman." You remember that?
Yeah.
I heard that
Depends on your definition of is.
So I remember hearing that in the Vegas as one of my only memories. But yeah, ever since then we always stayed on the strip. I don't think I like going to Fremont Street. I don't know if I would ever actually stay down there though. That might be a little below me.
Nice.
But yeah, dude, it's Sin City. There one other story I want to tell. So, and I don't know if you're appreciating these or not, but so there's this one night at we went, it was a family trip again, and my aunt, are you an aunt or are you an aunt guy?
Aunt.
You're an aunt guy?
I am.
All right, so my aunt, who's not that much older than I am, actually, her husband's brother came with, and he's about my age, a little younger. And we stayed up all night long. All night long. The bars never close in
easy
Vegas.
to do that there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they never close. So we stayed up all night at this bar. And this guy, we're talking to this guy all night, you know. Turns out this guy ended up being, he was a gay guy. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he was a gay guy, and he was trying hard to get us to go back to his room. And it was actually getting kind of scary and frightening, because he was like, you need to come back with me, but like kind of being forceful. And all of a sudden, I looked at this guy that I was with, and we looked at each other, and we just kind of nodded our heads like 1, 2, 3, and we just ran. And we ran through, because we were hammered drunk, right? So we were paranoid, all this shit. So we were running through the hotel, like the casinos, just zigzagging through slot machines. And then
Jeez, guy. I didn't have anything like that happen.
no, I mean you can come back with some cool stories. Gambling, you did Texas Hold'em.
Yeah. That's literally the only money I spent.
Did you go to the pool at all?
No, like Bellagio fountains. Yeah, I saw that.
No. Did you go? Were the pools open? There were
I don't
pools.
know.
Maybe they might not be open.
They had a workout center, so I'm assuming they had pools. I didn't go to the workout center, but
Oh yeah, but the pools in Vegas are not like the pools here. I mean, they're huge and magnificent, and they're outside, and it's a party.
well, it wasn't warm enough for that.
Yeah, they might not have been open.
Yeah,
actually,
it
they're
was like 55,
November.
60 degrees.
Yeah. So I don't know. It sounds like you had a good time in Vegas.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was bad. It's just I don't. If I was going there with a purpose to golf and watch shows with my wife, and then I would go. But just to
Yeah. So the moral of the story: if you're going to Vegas, have money, save up, and have money
correct,
that you
can lose.
And it's
Yeah.
hard to think like that, but when you go to Vegas, that's just how you
And
gotta
if you
think.
win, then it's a perk. Yeah.
It's a cherry on top. And then also don't come back like the franchise here with regrets. You have 3 regrets, dude.
I have 3 regrets.
The Eagles not going to Fremont Street, and there was one more regret I thought you had.
I think that was it.
No, you didn't go to that burger place. You said you wanted to go to Wahlburgers. You didn't go.
Oh yeah. What a fool.
So that would be my thing. So that is this week's topic. We're going to keep the franchise along here now for the rest of the show. The show's running kind of long. Sponsor of the week. You excited to hear who the sponsor is?
Is it me?
No.
Oh.
It's Dead Leaves. Dead Leaves reached out to me and they sponsored. It's fall now. And you got Dead Leaves. A lot of people look at dead leaves out on the grass and they see that as a burden. I see that as a lot of fun. You can pile the leaves up and you can jump in the leaves. Who doesn't love jumping in a pile of leaves? Right? You can also burn leaves. The smell of burning leaves, oh, it's the best. And also my favorite, when you're walking down the sidewalk and you see, now, franchise, you're 40 years old, right?
41, yeah.
40, sorry. You're walking down the sidewalk and you see a crispy dead leaf on the sidewalk. Are you stepping on it?
I'm not even, it doesn't even cross my mind.
To step on it or not step on it?
I don't even see it.
You don't see it?
I walk with my head up and shoulders back, my friend. I don't walk my head down.
I'm looking for leaves to step on, man. And I'll tell you what, there is nothing. It is a joy, it is a pleasure when you step on a leaf and you hear that crunch. And I'll tell you what, on the other side, when you step on a leaf and you're expecting that crunch and it doesn't do it for you, oh, that's the worst. Like, I'll be walking on the sidewalk, my wife will be like, "What? Why are you sad? Why are you something on your mind?" You know? I'd be like, "Nah, that leaf didn't crunch."
I'm like that when you're gonna bite into an Oreo.
Okay, all right, you got me so far.
And you're like, "Oh yeah, I found this Oreo that's in the cabinet," and then you take a bite and you expect that like snap crunch.
Yeah.
And it's just soft because it's like an Oreo from the last Halloween.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Do you dip your Oreos in milk?
I do.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something that's going to change your life. Next time you do it, double it up. 2 Oreos in the milk.
Are you a single stuff guy? I don't eat single stuffed Oreos. I don't know why they're made.
No, double stuff, yeah.
So you have 2 double stuffs. You're a quadruple stuff.
Yeah. So 2 Oreo cookies with the double.
You got to get your little pinchers in that top of the cup.
Yeah. So you got 2 cookies in there. You got it in there. I would hold in
Twist off the bottom so the frostings are facing each other?
No.
So you've got 4 of the chocolates and then 2 of the whites.
Yeah. And you stick it in there. And I don't know why this is. I don't know what the milk does. But when you pull it out, it gets like even more like
compacted.
Like soggy.
Oh.
And you put it in your mouth and it's just like it's like heaven in your mouth. For some odd reason when I do I can't even do 1 Oreo in milk anymore. I can't
tell
even
you a
do
fun Oreo story?
Yeah.
We went to visit.
Please do.
We went to visit some friends over in the La Crosse area. This is many, many moons ago, like 15 years ago.
Okay.
And we get over there, and only to find out that they're like real uber, like conservative with their food rations.
Okay. Well, that's not good for you.
No. And so we get there, and they have like 1 brat assigned for me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then
now they knew who you were before you showed up, right?
Yeah. So, long story short, I'm starving, right? So we get done. We take this little bike ride because they had their daughter wanted to go on a little bike ride.
So they're also working out too.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So we do this little thing, and I hit up this little gas station near their house, and I get some like Pringles and some Oreos and all this stuff, right? So we get back to the house, and we're out back doing a little campfire that night, and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go inside. I'm in there, and I do my business, and I come out, and I'm like, ooh, Oreos.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there, peel the top off, just start going. And you know how easy it is to go through a sleeve of Oreos.
Oh, yeah. And
then the second sleeve. And so I'm working on the third
and then
sleeve.
the second
So I'm working on the third sleeve, and my wife walks in, and she's like, and I look like, Jack Black in Saving Silverman when he's eating the spaghetti, and I just like freeze, and I look up,
Yeah.
and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm hungry." And yeah, literally 2.5 sleeves were gone.
Oh, man.
it was glorious.
Oh, that's the thing about being healthy is you just can't. I don't know why.
Enjoy life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Like trying to live healthy is not.
When you get big, that's the one thing I'm trying to tell
Fun.
my kids is like, don't get to like dad's size.
I'm doing that with my kids right now. Like I'm
Yeah.
keeping an eye on what they're doing because I don't want them to ever be like, because they're small and skinny now. So it's like, and I give props to my wife because like my kids, like for snack time, like at night we'll have a snack. My son will be like, "Oh, I'll take some strawberries."
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Mine are the same way. They'll have carrots with peanut butter. Or
Yeah.
They'll do. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's
Where's
crazy.
the ice cream?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to say thank you to Dead Leaves for sponsoring this week's episode.
Oh boy.
Emails. We only have one email. Actually, I got two emails. One from Coach Linz, who was on the show last week. He was nice enough to send me that stuff for running on the treadmill. So I will share that somehow, some way. I'll get that
Being
on.
healthy.
Yeah, I had a guy on last week. He owns a gym and strength training and stuff. So now we're talking about eating Oreos 2 at a time and 2.5 sleeves and this show's all over the place. But I do have another email from a good friend of ours, Lou Sassel. His email: "My man, good episode. I find it rather depressing that I am about 1,000% sure I'll be getting diabetes eventually now. Besides that, solid as usual. Possible names for listeners: Kennomaniacs, the Heart Foundation,
Yes.
the OAG Foundation, Average Degenerates X, the Locals." Hey, it sounds like you're a wrestling fan too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have a great day, Lou Sassel. Thanks, Lou. Those are some good ideas. Actually, I did come up with. So last week, we were talking about the name of people that listen to the show, and I want to say that this episode, I looked the other day. I have 996 downloads. So this particular episode, I'm calling it now, is going to get me to that 1,000 download mark.
No doubt.
Yeah, so that is very exciting stuff. 25 episodes, 1,000 downloads. And to my tens and tens of listeners, I was actually thinking of just calling you the tens and tens. The tens of tens. No, tens and tens.
If you have to explain it 3 times, I don't think it's very good.
I just kept screwing it up. It's the tens and tens.
Tens and tens?
Yeah, because that's a joke I say on the show a lot about how I got tens and tens of, people be like, I got thousands and thousands. Or I got hundreds and
I
hundreds.
can help you with this pan situation.
And the millions and millions, right?
Yeah.
So I got the tens and tens. So maybe I'll call you the tens and tens. I think that'd be pretty cool. It'd look cool on a shirt. So those are the emails. My unordinary opinion. So, franchise, this is like what I do every week is I come up, and this was easy to do like the first 6 episodes. Now it's beginning to be really hard. But I come up with something that I either really, really like, that the majority of people don't like, or I come up with something that I don't like, that the majority of the people do like. For example, the first one I ever had was the band Queen.
Oh, yeah.
And you actually don't like Queen either.
Not really.
Yeah, not really. You told me you hate Queen.
That's strong.
Dude, you said I hate Queen sucks. And now you're kind of retracting here?
I think I may have said Queen sucks. I don't know if I say I hate them. Hate's a strong word.
I hate them. Anyway, so I don't know. My unordinary opinion this week is we're in the fall season now.
Oh, boy.
Where we work, you see a lot of them. The vests. Are you a vest guy?
I'm not.
Yeah. What is the deal with everyone wearing vests? I don't get it. I never understood the vest.
Well, I get it if you're in shape. I think it's got a certain look to it, certain vibe to it. You can wear it with different pants, colors, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Husky guys.
Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is what sucks now is that I've been so weird. I see vests everywhere I look, especially at work. It's like guys wearing a vest, guys wearing a vest, guys wearing a vest, and like I'm starting to think like maybe I got to get a vest.
No.
But now it's to the point where I'm holding out. Like I'm not doing it.
I'm with
My grandma got me a vest once for Christmas, and I took it back.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like I'm not doing the vest. But now it's like, I see so many. Everyone's wearing vests, and there's no sleeves on it. Like I see people like it's colder than shit outside, and people are wearing vests, and I'm like, put a jacket on.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I don't get it.
I guess I would piggyback on that with your top. What's this topic called?
Unordinary opinion.
Okay, so I'm a big like shoe/belt guy. Like it drives me nuts when people wear brown belts and black shoes.
I'm the same.
You should do that. Or I'm not a white belt guy.
No.
No. You don't wear a white belt. In the rare occasion that you're golfing in July and you want to wear a white belt, all right, if you really feel the need, but 99.9% of the time, white belts, no go.
You'll never see a white belt in my collection of belts. And I got one belt, which unfortunately I am wearing black shoes and I got a brown belt on, so I apologize. But I will say if I'm dressing up for sure,
yeah,
or if you're gonna see the belt, like if I got to tuck in my shirt,
yeah,
it's gonna match.
It's like you can't wear a black belt with navy pants either.
Right?
You
Yeah.
can't wear black and navy together.
I'm to the point now where I have to wear a belt. Like I've worn a belt so many times. Like it's like if I don't have a belt on,
well, your pants require you to wear a belt.
what would you? Why?
Otherwise, it's gonna fall.
Yeah, well, some people don't wear belts.
I know, it's crazy.
Like some people don't wear belts, and it's kind of like, why do you not have a belt on?
It just pulls it all together.
It pulls it all together, and even though I'm a bigger guy, I don't have an ass, so my pants will fall down.
So I'm a tucked in guy, and I wear golf.
You're a tuck-in
slacks.
guy. You literally don't have your shirt tucked in.
I'm wearing a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Don't tuck t-shirts in.
Right. So I'm
Don't
normally a
tuck
polo
t-shirts
guy.
in.
I'm normally golf slacks guy.
Yeah,
right?
and you are a tucked in guy. I'm not a tucker.
You guys always, you going to church? Oh, it's Tuesday. Like, no, I'm not going to church. It's just how I dress. You're more of a jeans and an untucked guy.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
how
wouldn't
I
really
am.
need a belt on most occasions.
But I wear
You
one
wouldn't
anyway.
need- Yeah.
You know, think about belts. And this just happened to me the other day. So I went into
TJ Maxx.
No, at work. My sister works with us, and she's the one that's doing this contest
She
with.
does?
Yeah, so she's the one that has a scale in her office, right? So one day I walked into her office. She wasn't there, but I walked in there and I stepped on the scale. I took my belt off, my shoes, took everything on my pockets, weighed myself. Well, then I put everything in my pockets. I put my shoe on, and then I walked out and I was buckling my belt. And the lady that sits at the front desk,
Mm-hmm.
she sees me like buckling my belt. And that's such a weird, like there's something about like if you don't have a belt on, that's fine. If you do have a belt on, that's okay. But if you have a belt on and it's not buckled, like that's just it's a really awkward situation.
I can imagine.
And I was in that, and I just looked at her. I'm like, I just weighed myself. I just weighed myself.
Costanza. I was in the pool.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Anyway, long story short, can someone please explain to me the vests? I don't. If you ever see me wearing a vest, it's because I caved into peer pressure and I just want to be cool like everybody else. But to this point, to this day, I'm a no vest guy, and I quite honestly, I just never really understood them. They don't have sleeves. I don't get it. We're going to end the show this week with the song of the week.
Oh boy.
We were talking about Vegas all day long. So there's a song that came out about 10 years ago or so that I liked. I enjoyed it. But then one day when we were in Vegas, we had what we called a pool day. So it was a day where we didn't gamble or we gambled maybe later on or earlier, but we spent the majority of the day at the pool just getting hammered drunk. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man?
No.
Okay. So we got hammered drunk, and it was a beautiful day, and they had the music just blaring, and they kept playing this song. It was like in the rotation, and it was a song that I already liked, but now I heard it a lot that day, and now every time I hear this song, it takes me back to that day.
Can I guess?
You'll never guess it in a million years.
Mambo number 5.
No, it's not that. But it takes me back to it takes me back to that day. And on the way here, I was jamming out to it. It was 51 degrees out. I had the windows down. I had the radio up, man. I had to do it. Anyway, the song is Dangerous by Big Data. You ever hear that song?
No. I've heard of Big Daddy Weave. Never heard of Big Data.
Yeah. It's like alternative music. So anyway, the song of the week, Dangerous by Big Data. It's a great tune to jam out to, man. It's definitely like, it's not your typical guitars and stuff, but I do enjoy it. So anyway, Franchise, thanks so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, the pleasure's all on this side.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. Would you ever be on the show again?
Absolutely.
Because if we ever be on the show again, we can definitely talk wrestling, right?
Yeah, wrestling.
And then I also want to have you on the show when at the beginning of the football season to talk fantasy.
Or January/February, we can talk Dynasty fantasy football to get people going for like their off-season moves. Dynasty fantasy football is huge these days.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know anything about any of that stuff. So
Dynasty fantasy football,
you have to like teach us.
Well, your team carries over. So basically, the team you have now carries over to the next year, and then and it just keeps going, right?
Okay.
There's some dynasty leagues that have like a salary cap, and so players fall off your roster. They go back in the draft. There are some things that have like keeper leagues where you keep 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. So those decisions need to be made usually soon after the season is over.
Okay.
So yeah, those are always big important decisions that people screw up.
Well, maybe yeah, let's do that then. So that'd be like
January. Come back in January, talk some playoff football and
okay,
and off-season dynasty fantasy football.
That sounds like a plan. We'll have you back,
and we can talk parenting.
Yeah, we can talk about parent. Oh yeah, we were talking about parenting. We didn't. It didn't come up. I had questions written down here and it didn't really come up naturally, but we said something pretty funny the other day. It was pretty funny.
Remember, it's all on you.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, cool. We'll see you back in January. Anyway, to the tens and tens of you listening, have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Later.